when I'm thinking about having ability to resources as it relates to health and happiness, one of the things I think a lot of people struggle with is comparison. They hear a lot about all the wonderful things that others are experiencing by having access to resources that free their lives, improve the way they live, and obtaining their desired level of health. But their circumstances in life inhibits them from experiencing that same thing for themselves. For example, raising and growing one's own food. If they're renting an apartment in a city, they don't have any property to call their own, and so they're limited on what they can do. They live in a place where they can access the same resources that, say, another person that lives in the country can access. There's a potential for this person to quickly become discouraged, thinking, there's no way I can do that, right? I don't have the ability or the time or the place. I'm the wrong person in the wrong space. This is a real frustration, and it can cause many in this mindset to move out of fear and to make anxious decisions. They stir up fear because they can't access the same resources, the external resources, for what they feel will be the solution for their problems and a pathway towards better life. And that's not a good place to live. The truth of the matter is there's grace for each person to live in a thriving relationship with their Creator where they are at. There's one thing that we can universally access, and that is the life source of Christ, the life source of the one who saved us, the life source of our Father. Everybody, regardless of their place and time throughout history of mankind, has the same point of access. We can all tap into it. And this is really important. When you begin to understand this relationship with our true prototype, Christ, He leads you into the right places and spaces and gives you access to what you need to thrive there. And this is what keeps us from falling into a place of protocols and methodologies for our success, and instead moving us into a place of relationship so that when I'm in the city, where I can't grow an acre of food, I still can apprehend the same divine life and success because my relationship is with the source. My pathway to it might be different than yours through another external source, but I still have that promise from Him that He has given me everything for life and godlikeness. So I may not have all the same resources as what my friends or family in the country have, but I still get the divine life through whatever He is providing for me. And it's your responsibility not to take on fear that makes you think you have to do A, B, or C to get this divine life. It's your responsibility to build a relationship that gives you access to the revelation and the understanding, the wisdom to do what you can do, and with what you have before you. Because it's really His divine life through the resources and through all of the stuff that brings you into that fullness. So be free to apprehend the divine life that He has for you through the relationship, and don't be fearful that you can't get A, B, or C. You can't get what the other person's getting. He can and will meet you in your space and time, and He will provide for you and move you according to the time and seasons. He may very well need you to remain in that place where you can't grow food. But if you're trusting in the relationship and you're listening to His voice, He will guide you. He'll give you the same wonderful resources that your friends in the country have, but by other means. He can give you your health. He can provide and make up the difference because it's really about the relationship first and foremost. And as He leads you into all truth and you begin to desire, because He gives you the desires of His heart, right? He may bring you into a season where you can grow your own food and do these things or purchase those things. But your truth and your health will always come from Him and the relationship. And you will find that as you grow in that relationship, that the relationship is the source, and that those things we need and desire will simply come out of the outworkings of the relationship. Don't be afraid if you can't buy the vitamins, you can't buy the oils, you can't grow or raise your food, or you can't live in a place where there's clean air and you can't look up at blue skies and not see chemtrails. Don't be afraid of that stuff. Get into the relationship with your Creator and into the divine life that He has for you in this moment and in this season. He'll meet the gaps. He always does. He'll direct you, He'll increase you, move you into a place where you can exhibit divine health. That's the key. And as you grow in revelation, in relationship, you'll succeed. And you don't let fear cause you to create poor choices and cause you to bind yourself to new things. For fear will simply undo all the progress and bring you back into the old habits and destructive natures. I call this returning to Egypt or Babylon. all the temporary promises of those other sources. That was the failure of Israel. They forgot their divine source was the Father, Yahweh, saying, "But hey, we need these kings to be prosperous. We need these trade routes," they argue. "We need to have treaties with those other guys, and so I'm going to mingle with them and trade with them." And Israel didn't realize that they were trading out their divine store, their inheritance, their birthright of divine life, for a fading glory, a temporal strength, a diminishing enlightenment. No, we have all this supplied in the relationship. It's in the inheritance in Him already. It's already established. So don't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil in this effort to get you back into the garden. It's not going to work. He'll bring you into those things, into healthy living. He'll establish the divine thought life. He'll help you untether from corruption below the sun and make you a source above the sun. I get it. You don't want to trade into people who make bad food. You don't want to trade into companies that don't have your best interests in mind, who have ulterior motives to profit off of your life. You don't want to trade over those barrels, right? But if you can't do otherwise in this moment, in this season, don't worry. Don't fret. Don't be afraid. Instead, for the moment, reach into your relationship, into the true source, big love, your Creator, and He'll bring you out of Egypt, out of the desert in the right time, in the right season, and into that place where you become the thriving resources for others, because that's His heart towards you. So remember, everyone has access to the same divine life and success through a thriving relationship with their Creator, regardless of the circumstances. This relationship will provide universal access to health and happiness. Trust Father to guide you and provide for you. And focus on your relationship with Him, not on external resources or methodologies. Remember, the source is in you. Thanks for listening to this third and last part of Where Do You Source series. If you didn't catch the first two, check out the links below, part 1 and part 2, to hear the full series. If you like what you're hearing and want to subscribe and follow what I'm doing at Segula Studios, you can head over to substack.com, look up Segula Studios, and hit the subscribe button. I'm also on X, Telegram, and YouTube, and you can check me out on Discord as well. Hope this series spoke hope and enlightened your heart to grow deeper in your relationship with the Father. Until next time, keep pursuing the you He designed you to be.